Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm Craig, and this is Spirit of Vinyl. Hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. This weekend, and for those of you in America, was a holiday weekend. Just got over with yesterday. I took an extra day off. I've been pretty busy. I didn't get a video out this weekend at all. We had family coming to town and all that stuff. So, a couple of trips to the airport and some touristy stuff in town. You know how it is, got busy. So, I thought took an extra day off in order to recuperate from my holiday weekend. So I thought I'd sit here and put out some shows I had planned on doing. So you might get more than one video for me for today. I don't know. Today's episode, I want to talk about the Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones, according to what I was reading, they formed in 1962. They have 31 studio albums and 13 live albums, plus numerous compilation albums and EPs and singles and so on, and been around, I mean, forever and ever, and still out to this day, still touring and everything else. So, this last week I listened to all the Stones in my collection, which is not that much when you think about 31 studio albums plus, 31 studio albums plus 13 live albums. And I think they said there was like 28 compilation albums. So, I've got like six, but it's all I have. And, when it comes to the Stones, I like the Stones. I'm not like a huge Stones fan. I knew a guy back in high school who loved the Stones. Well, his older brother loved the Stones, and he had everything in his house. He was with like the Stones, like I was to Kiss. So, um, but I did like certain eras of Stones. To be fair and honest, the Stones was one of the first bands that I actually bought my own music to back in the 80s. One of the first albums I had bought. I'll show that again today. But so we're going to go back here. So I'm going to start here with Aftermath by the Rolling Stones. This album comes out in 1966. This is their fourth album in England and their sixth album in America. It's on London Records. There's the back. This has got a killer track list: Painted Black, Stupid Girl, Lady Jane, Under My Thumb, Don't You Bother Me, Think. Side 2 gets a little weaker. Flight, High and Dry, It's Not Easy, I Am Waiting, and Going Home. These are all pretty good records. Painted Black's one of my favorite Stone songs. It's right at the top of the list, top 5 for sure. So it's starting off like that. Pretty good record. This has got the old school London sleeves that came with it. We're, basically advertising for the record company. And it's got the purple London symphonic stereophonic on there. This is one of the oldest albums in my collection when it comes to oldest, it is an original press from 1966. The only album I have in my collection that beats this is the Animals album, which I showed in a previous episode in one of my threads. So this one got beat up by that Animals album by like 2 months. So this one came out in June of 1966 in America, and came out in April of 66 in the UK. Pretty good record. I really do like that one a lot. It is seen as one of the Stones' breakthrough albums, I guess you'd say, that really solidified what their sound was going to be like in the future. Okay, my next one. Let's see here. Sorry, get my notes here. Flowers from 1967. This is a compilation album, and it is in mono, which I think might be the only mono record I own. I haven't really looked that hard. Ruby Tuesday, Have You Seen Your Mother? The track listing's kind of screwed up right there. You can see it's got some tape on it. This is one of the ones from my buddy Rick when he died that I found in his apartment. He paid $4.99 for it. Ruby Tuesday is a great way to start off this album. Have You Seen Your Mother's a cool song. Let's Spend the Night Together. We all know that song. That song's a cool song. Lady Jane. It's on the last album I just talked about. It's okay. It's a little, and then it has My Girl, which is a remake from The Temptations on here. And then Side 2 starts off with a song called Backstreet Girl, and it's okay, but it's got flutes in it. It kind of made me question, like, flutes? Really? Flutes? Then Please Go Home, which is a cool tune, very experimental. Mother's Little Helper is a great song. And then the next three, Take It or Leave It, Ride On Baby, and Sitting on a Fence are cool songs, but there's nothing really that sticks out to me on the second side. But this is a pretty good record. It's a decent album. This also has the London sleeve on the inside, and this one's a purple London label instead of the blue one. And like I said, that was from 1967. And the other thing I listened to is their Satanic Majesty's Request 1967. This is their 8th American album, their sixth UK album. This is a 2018 Record Store Day release of 3,500 copies. There's the back, and it has a cool gatefold. On the inside, it's got the lentricular 3D type cover on there. I honestly don't know if the camera's picking up the movement. So, but I love this record, and I always have. I went through a spiritual awakening at one time, I guess you could say, and I just, I really dug this record, and I kind of liked what they were doing with it and the message and stuff. Cool, just this little inner sleeve right there, and it's also on London Records, and this re-release is this cool blue, green, black splatter record. This is very experimental, and like I said, one of my favorite Stones albums. I've listened to multiple times. Song She's a Rainbow. It's got 2000 Man, which was redone by Kiss. Of course, I was young and stupid, and when I heard 2000 Man, being a Kiss fan, being a young, stupid Kiss fan when I was a teenager, I saw it said M. Jagger and K. Richards on the writing credits on the label, but I'd never heard the Stones version of 2000 Man until way, way later. Great tunes all the way around. I love that record. Lots of people like to compare it to Sgt. Pepper's. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, go back. I did an episode where I compared the two. So, all right. Now we're going to jump all the way up from 67 to 1980. Rolling Stones Emotional Rescue. This is 1980 Presswell pressing, 17th in America, 15th in the UK. Starts off with kind of a new wave sound. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's got the song Emotional Rescue on there, and She's So Cold, which are the two radio hits. This is one of the ones that was found that day in my famous dumpster find. This is on Rolling Stones Records. It still has the poster in it that was still all folded up. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing. This thing is 2 things wide and 5 things tall. So still had that on the inside when I found it. And like I said, it's on Rolling Stones Records. It's got the cool yellow label on there. Good record, but I don't know. Nothing that really stands out too huge for me besides the song Emotional Rescue. See, there we go. She's So Cold, which is a cool song. I'm So Hot for her. She's So Cold. I do like that. It is kind of in the 80s. It's the beginning of that sound from when I got into the Stones, kind of what they sounded like, which is this record right here, Tattoo You, 1981. Specialty Press, 18th American album and the 16th UK album. First 2 tracks, Start Me Up, Hang Fire, killer way to start this album. The third song is a little slow. It's called Slave. And then you have a little TNA, Black Limousine, and Neighbors. Great songs. Side 2 starts a little slow, and the whole side is more of a soulful sound rather than, like Start Me Up or Hang Fire or whatever. But I love this record. This album came out in 1981, so I would have been like 12 years old. And I remember the video for, I want to say it was Start Me Up. The video for Start Me Up was on MTV. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I got to get that record. So I bought it back in the day. This is not that copy. I had to replace this recently. But it came with the trippy inner sleeve with the goat hoof and the high heels. Said this was on Rolling Stones Records, has the yellow label on there. One of my favorite Stones albums. I really do like this one a lot and always have ever since I was 12 years old. I'm a little disappointed that this one's got a little pop at the beginning of Start Me Up. So, kind of a little skip. It doesn't get stuck, but it kind of pops over a few notes. So I don't know if I'll replace it though. Seems like a lot of work. Maybe one day I'll get one that's in better shape, but I bought that within the last year on Discogs, and it wasn't that much money. And then we go to 1983 with the Rolling Stones with Undercover. This is another one that was found in that famous find. It still has all the stickers still attached to it. Never been peeled off. I have looked on the internet to see what's underneath them. I will not be peeling the stickers off. I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. There's the back. Nice butt, I guess. So this album is, like I said, 83. This is their 19th and 17th overall. Press Well Press. It starts off with kind of new wavy sounding, but then it kind of gets poppy. And then just like pure cool rock and roll on here. Undercover the Night is probably the biggest hit on this record. That's pretty much it that people would know unless you had the whole record. It's the only thing that really got radio play. So this one's cool too. Had this cool insert in it. You could subscribe to the Rolling Stones newsletter or whatever. And had the inner sleeve with it. And it was also on Rolling Stones Records. So there's your label right there. I like this one a lot. Side 2 is kind of disco sounding, but it ends up being a very good record. It's a very good rock album overall, altogether. And that's pretty much all the Rolling Stones I have. And if I had to rank them all, I would put Their Satanic Majesty's Request as my favorite of those 6 that I have. And then I'd probably go with Start Me Up, obviously, due to what it is at the time. I do like that 80s sound. The last 3, Emotional Rescue, Tattoo You, and Undercover. I do like that sound. It's a very cool sound. Flowers is a pretty good record for a compilation album. And I did really like Aftermath, And like I said, I haven't never really been that huge of a Stones fan, but there are a couple more I'd like to get. I'd like to get Whatever's got Sympathy for the Devil on it and some of those other songs. I have to go back and buy some of their earlier stuff or whatever. So, but yeah, that's all I have. That's all the Stones I have in my collection. And I listened to every single one of them within the last week so I could talk about this today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go listen to some Stones. And if you got extras you want to get rid of, just send me an email and you can ship them my way if you'd like. How's that sound? All right, guys. Thank you all for being out there. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'll probably put on another video maybe later today. I'm not sure yet. See what the rest of my day goes, I'm kind of slacking off today. So, all right. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one, guys.